I'm Pastor Micah Klaus. We're going to continue this short series on understanding the unity and the consistency of the Bible, that it is one whole story. It's not disjointed. It's not made to be chopped up. It all belongs together. It all sings of one story. It all praises one sovereign God. And so we had just heard about how the Lord made heaven and earth. He made Adam to be the vice king. Adam became very quickly Adam the rebel. And Adam, who was to have the blessing, the land, and a family, either loses all of those things or now they're all cracked and broken. But behold the goodness, behold the grace of God, because as soon as man sins, God stoops into man's fall. And in Genesis 3:15, we have the first proclamation of the gospel. The Lord tells us that a deliverer is going to come from the seed of the woman. By the way, women don't have seed, and so the Lord is pointing actually to the virgin birth, even here in Genesis chapter 3, that the seed of the woman is going to come one who will crush the head of Satan. But as he's crushing the head of Satan, his heel is going to be bruised. And so the deliverer that comes through the seed of the woman will in fact crush Satan with a fatal blow. But as he does so, he himself will be injured. He himself will be hurt. And so the Lord responds to Adam's sin not only with the message of a curse, but also with the message of a promised deliverer that's going to crush the head of Satan from the seed of the woman. This is what 1 John talks about, that Jesus, the Son of God, came into the world, was manifest to destroy the works of Satan. And what happened, though, between Adam, the first man, and Jesus, the second man? What happened between Adam, who as the head of humanity fell, to Jesus, the new head of the new humanity, who crushes the head of Satan? What happens in between them? What happens between those 4,000 years? Well, one of the events, and this is certainly just one, but very pivotal, very important, is God makes a covenant promise with Abraham. You can read about this in Genesis 12, Genesis 15, and Genesis 17. How can we summarize God's covenant promise to Abraham? Well, in three ways. God promises to Abraham land, seed, and a blessing. The blessing. In Genesis 28:14, the Lord tells Abraham that his offspring will be more in number than the stars in the sky, more in number than the sand on the shore, and more or less that he will inherit the world, and that through him he will bless all the nations, all the families of the world. Notice what just happened. God promises to Abraham all that Adam lost when he fell. God promises to Abraham all that Adam had lost. Adam had lost a peaceful, blessed family. He had inherited now curses, even upon the ground, even upon his wife. And he was exiled from the Garden of Eden. But the Lord in his grace approaches Abraham, initiates this covenant with Abraham, and tells him that, Abraham, I'm your Lord. You're going to walk before me, and I'm going to give you the world. I'm going to bless you and all the world through you, and I'm going to give you a worldwide family. How does this connect the Bible together? Well, Jesus and Abraham come together to sit down and feast in this way. In Galatians chapter 3, the Apostle Paul tells us that Jesus is the seed of Abraham, through whom these promises come, through whom the Holy Spirit is given, through whom the meek inherit the world, through whom the curse is removed, and in its place is blessing, and through whom Jews and Gentiles alike are brought together as one family, one man, one body, under Jesus Christ, reconciled to God the Father. Jesus is the seed of Abraham. He's the promised one. He's going to do what no other Israelite could do. He's going to, in his life, recapitulate the story of Israel. Remember, he was taken out of Egypt, fulfilling prophecy. He was tempted for a period of 40. He was baptized as Israel was baptized. He was lifted up in the wilderness as Moses lifted up the bronze serpent. All of these things. Jesus recapitulates the story of Israel. He's the true Israelite. He's the seed, the unique seed of Abraham, through whom these promises come about. And so what Adam lost in the fall, and as he brought death through that sin, Jesus brings life. Jesus brings the reconciliation. He brings about righteousness through his obedience. And he is going to give his people, the meek of the earth, the whole world as their inheritance. Nations have been, are going to continue being blessed through Jesus Christ. And we have family, Jew and Gentile alike, with anybody who has faith in Messiah. And so these promises that were made in ancient times are fulfilled through Jesus Christ and are being fulfilled through the ongoing work of the Spirit of Christ in the church. And so I hope that fills in maybe some gaps in your understanding of the Bible and the unity and the completeness of it and the continuity of what God has done in history. The Lord bless you.